Today, I will be showing you guys how I set gemstones. Last week, we made this little pendant. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where the focus is. This might actually work that way. I might be able to switch that around. We'll see. I digress. Last week, I showed how we fabricated this cute little pendant. And this week, I'm going to show how to set the gems in that pendant. So, yeah, join me as we go on this journey. I am in my, I bring this to you from my bedroom. That has a full silversmithing bench next to my bed. Just how I roll. You can tell I really love what I do. So yeah, first things first. My microscope over and then set up the camera to view. Also, just kind of a peek at some projects I'm working on right now. This is one bracelet that I'm doing as a custom. Still got some work to do on that one. And here's another thing that's quite interesting. I'll be etching like little mountain scenes into the side, and I'm trying to give it a stream bed feel, and it is really difficult to get those beads to fuse and stay. That's a lot of work. We'll be getting her. That's a whole nother thing I'm trying to make a video on, just because it should be interesting at least. Oh, I should probably. Hey, Chris. Let Will know I'm live. Hey, Jerry. Fuck. I need a day off. I haven't gotten one. It's been, sorry. How are you, Jerry? It's nice to see you. I know it's not much, but I have started on a ring. I've been melting down a little bit here and there, and I've at least got the pieces together, and I've got some solder on the way. But we're working on it. I've been overwhelmed. I still don't have another roommate, so like I'm will not fail you. I work very hard on that. Sorry, I'm looking for a pair of my like automatic tweezers that hold on to my cord for my light so that my light stays on, but hopefully it'll just do it on its own. And then I need to let him know live. Hope you're having a good week, bro. And make sure I can see my own chat. Might be a good idea. Wow. I gotta.
Amethyst? Well, we know amethyst is
Sorry,
quite common.
I follow some things.
About this ring, it's done by Raymond Yard, and it's a top color amethyst.
That's a pretty rock. Definitely a pretty rock. Neil, oh god, he needs to call me. I haven't chatted with him about it, although honestly, I'm not sure how prepped I am. Sorry, I'm trying to get my. There we go. So you guys can see what I'm looking at, and first I want to make sure you guys have a good view too. How are you doing, Chris? Oh, come on. Lock yourself in place. There we go. I just heard my neighbor's kitty scratching an itch. Because, you know, the foot hitting the floor, it's all soft. It's so... I apologize. Appreciate you, Jerry. I'm okay. Busy, but, you know, that is the case of it, or of life, you know what I mean? Okay, so... there we go on that. Now, since I'm going to be leaving the camera in, like, one spot for most of this, I'm going to, yeah. So we can see a little better. Just real quick so that you guys can see what I'm looking at. And I'll probably try to do this a couple times throughout the stream. Oh. I guess I probably want to zoom out before I go looking through my 40x zoom. That is the pendant under a microscope. And now I'm going to start the setting process. So, perfect. I think that's good. All right, so we're going to get the gems out for now, and then I'm going to want a saw blade. I'm going to want a very particular saw blade, a 6/0/0. Now, I'm not done with this blade because it's pretty much brand new. Damn, look at that bend. But, so I'm going to set it up on top. And I'm going to pull out... do I need one of these? I think I do. Before using these, I always like to make sure, though, because they're very thin, they break very easily, and they're not exactly cheap. Well, we might use that. We're going to see. First things first, I guess, since I'm castle setting. Well, not first. Normally I wouldn't do this first, but since these little spots, which will become the prongs, are so small, I don't want to take away all the area from my prongs with, you know, sawing it out. This is a thicker blade. So what I'm going to do is take the sides of the setting that I would normally do down so that I can see how much is there. Jerry, can I ask how old you are? Because if you're older than me by several years, you're setting me up for a good joke. I was gonna say, so I said this to my dad like 5-10 years ago because he said he's starting to feel his age in his like 65s, and I was like, Dad, I've been feeling your age since I was 18 with the hip. Yeah, okay. I've been feeling your age today, too. All right, so that's not quite thick enough. I'm taking a burr. What was that? Oh, I should probably check on that real quick. I doubt there anybody wanting... Nope, okay. I can answer those later. Sorry. Always wanting to make sure if somebody's wanting to buy something that I'm available for them to make the purchase. Okay, that's a little too small. What, do I not have the right... Because the next biggest one... You know what? Okay, I'm going to go in with the smaller one first. And then I can touch it with the bigger one. That way, it just leaves less room for mistakes. By the way, I want to say thank you to the 5 people who have hit that thumbs up button for me. I appreciate ya. We see well. Alrighty. Damn, that good, huh? I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. And I'm just taking out little dips in the side for now. Also, I'll remove the little piece of metal in between if I can. I might have to grab my parallel action pliers to hold it in place while I do that. Hey, Iris! I'm not doing too bad. I got a sewing machine this week. So I'm really excited for the doors that's going to open up. See, that's exactly why I've been wanting to get a sewing machine, and then our Joann's closed down, so I got for $10 I got $200 worth of fabric. Alright, so now I'm getting these little divots a bit deeper. Perfect. So next what I want to do is I want to grab my dividers, these tools. And I want to mark a spot. Let's see. About halfway down, I guess. Perfect. And you don't want to dig in really deeply. You just want to barely scratch a mark there so that you can see it and what you're doing. I'm going to turn the speed on my flex shaft down. I'm going to round out these better. And make sure they're at the same depth. And then the next I don't know what I'm sewing yet, Chris. Probably cosplay type stuff because I'm a giant nerd. Maybe someday I'll make a diamond encrusted Lord Vader outfit or something because it's the kind of shit I would do. I want a different bit for this, now that I think about it. I don't want a tapered cone burr, which I do like them. I really do. With them going out of business, Iris, like $10 will get you. I got like 10, 15 yards or something. I don't know. It's crazy. I got a bunch. And I didn't spend that much because I was like, I'm in financial responsibility mode at the moment. But also I was like, I'm not going to have an opportunity like this anytime soon. I didn't even have the sewing machine yet. I was like, we'll get this now. The sewing machine will work out. Kind of like my idea with any type of crafting. When the opportunity comes your way, get it. And then you'll get the other stuff first. A panda cosplay, that would be cool. Be cute. Alright, so this is called a Krause burr. As you can see, it's pointed and aggressive. First off, every time you get done using one of these, take it out of your piece, because when these stab you, it hurts like a motherfucker. Really, really, really hurts. So, yeah. You know. Whole safety thing. Second, make sure to use, I use, Burr Life Rio Grande product. It actually works really well. You want to angle it just slightly, or rotate it just slightly. That's a good idea, Iris. As a big guy myself, a big reason of the sewing machine is because I want to make clothes that look good. Like, I want to have pants that look stylish and shirts that look stylish in my size that don't cost $10,000. Don't be afraid to reapply the burr lubricants, be it beeswax. Bro, no. I will have to get back to you after the stream. I apologize, dude, but this is the one time, my friend. Or, well, they're 2 times a week. All right. What's that? Handmade lace? Wait, I missed something. On bobbin lace and learn that there's another book I wanted for lace style. Iris, a lot of those things you can download. Fabric is expensive, definitely. Although, maybe it's because we're getting our fabric in the United States. No promises, but perhaps someday in the future I can find a way to help facilitate getting more crafting stuff. Let's see, I will need to... Sorry, real quick, I'm just looking. Motherfucker. You know what? I'll file it. Okay. So again, when you get done using a Kraus bit, remove the Kraus bit. Trust me on this. You only need to shove one of these into your palm one time, and I've done it twice because I'm a fucking genius like that, to know you don't want to do it a second time. Hey, James. And yes, thank you everyone for hitting that like button. I really appreciate it. Okay, now let's look at the saw blade again and see if that might be an appropriate method of splitting the prongs, because when it works, it does a really good job. But you just have to... Yeah, that'll work. That's going to work great. Perfect. Okay, which direction are my blades going? That direction. Cool, cool. Alright. So, with these 6/0 blades, I wonder how you say that in the industry. Sewing is a great skill. How you doing this week, James? So yeah, you've got to put tension on your saw blades, but if you put too much tension on one of these, they will snap. They will snap quicker than, a rubber band. I was trying to think of something there, and I was like, I want to be witty, and then I was like, I probably don't want to be witty. Okay. I did not snap it, thankfully. I know. I saw it. That's... why I was saying hey back. How you doing? All right. So cutting these is definitely a challenge, but it's what we're here for. So get it nice. And at first, I am just marking where I want this cut to be. Preferably without cutting myself, because this blade can screw me up very quickly if I am not careful. Flip that around. I almost need thermolock for this part. Also, I'm putting a little bit more pressure on the blade this way to keep more tension there. I know that... Sorry, I'm trying to keep talking. It's hard. I'm like a chicken. I run around with ideas till I find something to hone in on and complete. And why I have so many unfinished projects. I feel that, Iris. Hey, Jerry. Out of curiosity, could you take a look for me and find out how much .5 millimeter round osmium circles would be, if you're still here, or any of my osmium peoples? Just ballpark. It doesn't have to be crazy. I'm just kind of looking for a number that's in the right order of magnitude. Where's the saw blade lubrication or the bird oil, whatever, wax? Where did I put that? Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just curious because, like, you know, how much would that, the cost to make these with those be? They're simple. I think they would be traditional enough that people, you know what I mean? It's just a random idea. A piece. $100 a piece. Or, oh, wow, okay, okay. And that's 2.5 millimeters? It's not bad, but when you're talking for the price of a stone, that's a bit. You know, I guess it would probably just be smarter to do a small bar and, you know, 3 millimeter custom cut. Damn. Okay. Well, thank you for looking at that. I appreciate it. It was just a random curiosity. It doesn't sound like that would be I mean, something for us to maybe keep in mind, but I don't know that that would be the most economical way to go about it. Yeah, yeah. I know, right? Iris, like, yeah, for the whole piece of jewelry, that sounds like a pretty decent deal. I agree. All right, so now I'm going to use a file to angle these top prongs because as you can see, they're a little bit bigger. Actually, here, let me give you guys the view from a microscope again real quick. By the way, if you are enjoying watching this, please hit that thumbs up button for me. It does a lot of good. Also, if you want to... Oh, that is the wrong phone to be going to, or picking up for this part, but that's okay. Alright, so if you want to do a solid and you're able to leave a super chat, I would really appreciate it. I understand times are hard economically. I'm going through it too. But I do appreciate everyone who helps support the channel through super chats or memberships, etc. So you can see how these bottom prongs are a little bigger than those ones. So I'm going to file at an angle like that so that the part that'll hold the stone will be just a little bit bigger. There we go. We back. That's fair. And yeah, it was a good ballpark for me, you know what I mean? It makes me sad that is one of the first things I have to consider when I get an idea is this economically viable as, a business? It's the smart thing to do. I will say, though, I really miss making jewelry as a hobby because that allowed me to do crazy stuff that I would not risk doing these days. Yeah. Especially when that company is basically a crippled guy trying to just keep the rent paid. I can't even afford to take risks. Alright, up next, I'm going to do a little bit of polishing because I think that's a good idea. Wait, let's make sure everything is ready for that. So real quick, I want to do just a little more touch up on the... Did I not just get a new Kraus bit? I thought I did. I thought I just pulled a brand new Kraus bit out. Must have set it somewhere weird. I'll find it here later. When did you... Oh, holy shit, I totally... Oh, those rings. I remember looking at those rings. I think they're fucking dope, honestly. I don't know that I could do them. I would love to try. Again, those I would say those are a great example of projects that I would love to be able to do. I just don't know how well they would sell. I also think I'm going to want to cut a little deeper into those prongs. Hi, Carolyn. Iris, I bet if you did a general video vlog type thing, I bet it would be pretty cool. At least that's my opinion. Because you are quite well versed in multiple disciplines. I think you would be good at it, Iris. Alright, and now there's these little bits of metal in between where I've cut the prongs, and I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. And I was thinking about it, like, Yvonne's page has that feel, and I really love it, personally. Oh, come on, really? There we go. Sorry. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. You gotta be careful these days. There's some... Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Although... I guess there are ways to go about that. Not that anyone should ever have to, like, worry about being safe that way, but unfortunately they do. You know, for a while I was the aide and lived with an actress. Her name's Margot Kidder. This was a long time ago. She played the original Lois Lane, or one of the original Lois Lanes in the Superman movies. And she had that problem with people from fucking decades ago, literally. And she didn't have any security or anything like that, and was able to live a pretty decent life without interruptions. And like, she was a fairly big time star. Actually, she got more threats because of like non-acting attention she got than anything else. Although one guy did like have a real issue and she needed to get a restraining order, but like, that dude was like really, really needed help. That guy just needed help. This is a carbon graphite. Like, it's basically moissanite embedded into a coarse bit or coarse wheel. Oh, you're looking for tools for wire wrapping polishing. I got you. I will stop this for a moment to give you a little breakdown. Honestly, for wire wrapping, this is nice, but it's not what, like, especially if you're on a budget, I would say this can be secondary. But that is Rio Grande's, it's just a kit that comes with the different types of silicone carbide wheels in the different polishing types. They're nice. They do a lot of good, especially if you have like solid pieces of metal. But the Dedico polishing kit, like that, I get the 5/8 inch bristle disc set for like $40, is what I would recommend to start with. Like, that is the way to go. One of these multi kits will do so much good for you. And then, you know, a little bit of trying to think of the word I'm looking for. Specifically, liver of sulfur, I think is really helpful, but that's me. And could absolutely be my own personal preference. I'm looking for my Oh, looks like I need to change out my bristle disc for my 220, actually. So I'm going to do that real quick. I even saved the big bristle discs when they get worn down, because you can use this part to do polishing in certain ways. That's kind of nice sometimes. Sometimes it helps to have security in this world, or be the security. I think it's bullshit that people have to even worry about such things, but I mean, I was blessed with being born with the body type of a big man, and so most of the time people aren't going to go out of their way to fuck with me, because I just, bigger people have an intimidation factor right off the get. Actually, I keep trying to convince my dad, because he's really big into self-defense and, steel, to do training courses for young ladies in that particular area, because I think it could be really beneficial to them, and he could probably, make a decent living at it. He's really good at that type of thing. Vax, do you have what's your resources look like? Are you working on a tight budget? I get it. That's kind of how I operate on a really tight budget, and have the entire time, because I started this while on disability. Getting into fabrication on that type of a budget is difficult. Oh, nice. Fire, dude, I get lost in fire agate carving. I have to keep myself from doing it. I love it so much, and I know I can't make enough money to survive doing just that. I digress. So the fabrication side, like, I got my rolling mill. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know I was so far off, out of frame. So I got my rolling mill as my first, like, Of course, I had the flex shaft already, but I got the rolling mill and I couldn't even use it. But I had a bunch of wire, I was saving up from all the sterling silver wire wraps, and I thought it would be a good idea to get one. Next, I got the crucible, and that was $20. Okay, cool. Couple weeks later, I got an ingot mold, and finally, it took me 2 months slowly putting it together, but then I could start making plates that I couldn't use. After that, I got a saw, and it's just a battle of attrition. Slowly get or reverse attrition, maybe. Slowly get everything you need, and nice. Wait, Mark. Is that Mark from Mark's Minerals? Fire agate Mark's Minerals. Yeah, and if that guy's amazing. I'll have to look into the Austin Wright, but I know Mark kind of well. I love that guy. Heck, I plan to do more videos of me doing fire agate carving and actually, you know, putting forward the idea that I get said fire agate from Mark. Because most people won't want to cut it anyway. I'll cut it for them. But if they do want to cut it, that's the guy to get it from. And I'm not selling rough fire agate, so it's not like he's competing with me. And he's just an awesome dude. Alrighty. I apologize that this part's taking so long, guys. It is tough to cut. It takes a lot of patience. Chris, it might be okay to do with arthritis, though, because you don't need a tight grip on things. It just takes patience and a lot of, like, you'll fuck things up and you'll cry about it, and being able to be okay with that and moving forward and learning from those mistakes. It's hard, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. No, with cutting fire agates can be hard emotionally versus physically, if that makes sense. But it is really rewarding once you do start learning how to do it properly. It just takes a lot of emotional patience. Wire wrapping is another one, but it is hard on the wrists for sure. I love wire wrapping. We all know this. It's no secret. And last disc before I start setting. Hopefully. I might have to use one other, but we'll see. No. Perfect. I love it. Hell yes. Alright, to pray. Now to pray a little bit. I'm going to grab a bit that is meant to go in that, and I'm real quick going to run this brush through. This is more to clean out any leftover silicone carbide. And then we see how well these gems fit. Now, they were fitting pretty much perfectly, so they still should fit pretty much perfectly. However, after doing this work, some of them might not be. Thank you, Iris. And hell, okay, so I might need to just barely hit these again with the burr. We'll see. As it is, yes. Do you have Instagram or Reddit? Those are usually the easiest. And also, I have a Gmail. Yeah, I'm just going to dig into this just slightly on a very, very slow setting. Iris, it's actually it's separated by a hyphen, the same as the channel is. I do believe it's at celestial_reach, and then Reddit is Alleluia, the same way I spell it here, 406. Yeah, I do okay on rapping. You're good. Iris, we're lucky that I remembered that that hyphen or whatever is there. Underscore. Okay, there's that one. And then that one. And then that one. Perfect. Real quick, I'm going to switch over views so that y'all can see how these look under more magnification. Oh yeah, getting that thickness is really difficult. So now you can kind of get a view of what I've done in there. And these are really, really small. It's a type of sculpture in a way. Oh, the thing I used to pick up the gems? Yeah, they're tanzanite. I hope. Well, I remember the name of the company, but I don't always remember exactly how we use hyphens and whatever on social media. The thing I used to pick up the gems, we sometimes will call them a diamond magnet. It's an old burr that is no longer used, so I cut the tip off and then I put beeswax on the end. It's just a little sticky, is all. I love tanzanite too. It's a fave. All right, so moving forward, there's a couple things I'm gonna need. One, a prong pusher in the right size. This one I believe is too small. Thankfully, I have a set. Diamond magnet, yeah. I think a lot of the creators who use that term do so just to screw with people. Because diamonds are non-magnetic. Kind of an impossibility, you know? Okay. That hopefully will be perfect. So, I have my beading tool, and this is a, well, it doesn't really matter what size it is, because I'll always pick exactly the one that's best for the project, but this is a size 8. And then my little home or micro chisel that I made. First things first, I'm going to use the micro chisel to just ever so slightly move these My brain is telling me that I've messed up and I should have put this into thermolock before I start setting, actually, the setting process. But I have faith in myself. And maybe that faith is undue. Mm-hmm. We are going the thermolock route. Because this is not cooperating, and I'm not risking it up right now. It's just too nice. Where's my thermolock? Okay, I don't actually use thermolock because I'm broke. But I have something similar. I have polyplastic. There it is. Where's my smaller polyplastic piece? Because that piece would be about perfect for this right now. Well, I will make one. Ooh, that's actually an interesting idea. I ask for a wee bit of patience with me, guys. And I appreciate the patience you're having. Okay, so I want one of my ring holders. And specifically, I want the other one that I don't use. Maybe I don't have that option. Huh. Really? Fine, so be it. Just so you guys can see what I'm doing, I do streams every Friday. I try to do a stream for showing how things are made, and then Saturday I sell gemstones and crystals. Which, if you're into wire wrapping, like, part of the reason I do the whole gemstones and crystals is to provide an opportunity that wasn't there when I was starting. So polyplastics are dope because you can work them at home. Here, we're zooming out and giving y'all a little bit more of a view for a minute. So, polyplastics, start melting them together a bit. And these polyplastics, they're not that expensive. Actually, they can be surprisingly like reasonable in affordability. Which is always nice. What I'll be using it for is to hold the pendant easier. I can stick the pendant into this and then finish setting it from there. It's super handy. It can just take a minute to, set up. But once you do set it up, it will hold everything exactly where you need it held. Now the plastic will harden as it cools back to room temperature, so I just need to give it a little patience. It can do a lot, from fabricating sorry, I missed a bunch, sorry. That is a pretty good deal, definitely, for a 17 character. Hey, and Lucid, I also do very affordable packages of CZ, cubic zirconia, for people who are practicing with like copper. And they're basically like, $10 for, you could do hundreds of wraps with a $10 package of that stuff. Well, maybe not hundreds, but dozens. Sorry, guys, it's still cooling. And you're kind of watching it cool. It'll go from clear to being back to the full solid white color like that. But now it's held in place. So if I want to, I can take my ring holder for working on a ring, and now it's so much more solidly held in place for me while I'm working on it, or something like that. I could, if my microscope was where I wanted it to be, I could hook that up. Will, good to see you. Bro, I know. Okay, I've got the same thing. I'm always wanting to put the best gems in my work, even if it is copper. Like, unless somebody orders a custom with lab grown or CZ in it, I usually don't use it. But it is a really cost effective method. I couldn't like say otherwise in good faith. Will, the Tanzanite wrap is coming along. Will, I was just thinking the same thing actually. I was like, hey Lucid, drop me a link on Instagram or something, bro. Sorry for assuming, but drop me a a message. I kind of want to see your work because Will's right. That is actually a sign. Okay, that's now solid plastic. Cool thing is, I can put this into hot water and just pull the pendant out after I'm done. I'll have to reset up. That's fair. I've been struggling with social media recently myself. Okay, yeah. It's held in place securely. Will, that is the Dunning-Kruger effect, whole premise behind the Dunning-Kruger theory. That as we get better at something, we realize how far we could grow. And so then we're like, I'm okay. I'm a beginner. I'm intermediate. Like I say that about this stuff. I'm okay. For a hobbyist, I'm not doing too bad. or for someone with like hobby level tools, etc. I can do some alright wire wrapping. Because I know there are people who are far better than me. So now that the pendant is locked in place, and I have a little more control, I can start pushing these prongs a lot easier. Oh, come on, really? I'm trying to make sure, as I do it, that whatever happens, I don't break any of these tanzanite. Tanzanite can be fragile. And I keep having visions of these things cracking. Hey, Josh. Sorry, I'm struggling to see the wire wrapping ring. Damn. Yeah, in my experience, not much has been leading to sales recently. Not of wire wraps. I've been having a devil of a time getting wire wraps to move. Which is why I haven't done very many, like, this year. How you doing today, Josh? It's good to see ya. Okay, now I'm going to move to a smaller beading tool so I can have a little more control and try to get these set so I feel confident they're set without breaking them, which is my fear right now. I do not want to break one of these. No, it's totally allowed. No, I ask people don't like go crazy with promotion, but I also am totally okay with people, like, I'll share people's streams or, a link, like, once in a while, as long as they're being respectful, asking first, etc. I'm cool with it. Yeah, sharing art is totally okay. Especially during this stream. Like, my sales stream might be a little different, but even then, like, at the end of the stream, I don't mind dropping, someone's page or something, because all gotta start somewhere. Heck, it doesn't even matter if you're new or not. Like, it's our community. But yeah, if one of the mods in chat is asking you to share something, you're good. Usually you're gonna be good. I'm not doing too bad. I mean, it's been a struggle, but I'm still here. I'm still going. All right, and this pendant's coming along all right. That's always nice. I still have a website that I'm not using. Opera. Wait, isn't Opera like an outdated like Netscape? Is it isn't it basically a Netscape type deal? I probably just dated myself like crazy even talking about Netscape, but it's what it is. All right. Those are set. Hell yes. I'm gonna go throw some hot water into the microwave or water into the microwave. I'll be right back. What are you doing, meow? Being a good meow? Damn. Alrighty, we're getting there. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. It really, really helps. Let's see. So 4 hours plus. Well, I got to do a little more polishing, but 4 hours. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my chat real quick. There we go. Fix my chat. Sorry about that. So first, I have hot water going in here. It's not super hot. It's like tap hot. That might be enough on its own, but because I don't want to shock tanzanite, heat can make it explode if it's too quick. We're going to slowly get this boiling water, or, get it up there. It's more like an operating system than a browser, huh? Shut up, Will, calling me an old fart. Just because I walk with a cane. I do not. I do no such thing. Maybe I do. I guess, actually, yeah. Yeah, I do. I miss Windows Vista. And I'm probably the only motherfucker in the world who will say that. Because nobody liked Windows Vista when it was a thing. Well, I also liked Windows 8. 10? Windows 10? I think 8. No, it was Windows 8. 7? I don't fucking know. The one after Vista wasn't bad. Not quite hot enough, so... And I can already see the edge is starting to become clear. And once this dries out, it's completely reusable. I can use it as many times as I need. It's like 20, 30 bucks for enough sheets to last you for a decade, I'm guessing, if you're using it like I do. After that, I pick out any remaining bits of plastic that might be stuck in it. I think we got them all. Perfect. So now we're set, and all I need to do is polish. Oh, and a little bit of engraving. Let's polish and engrave. Alright, so I'm making sure I get off all that little extra plastic that might have gotten stuck on it. Oh, I'm done with this saw blade. So I'm going to remove it, put it back in its little thing. Sorry, this is I very rarely do I think about stuff like this. But with those 6-0 blades, you don't want to waste them. Because you don't really need to buy a bunch of them. They're so rarely used. Damn. That is bent. Probably gonna break this one. That does it. What am I missing? Weaver Engraver. And those people lied to you, Lucid. They told me the same shit. I always had a feeling they were fucking lying to me. And then one day I just said, to hell with it. I bought the Weaver machine. And I'm so glad I didn't listen to those asshats because they were wrong. I may not be a boss engraver, but I don't know that I ever will be, no matter what type of machine I'm using. That's not my strong point artistically, that type of stuff. But the machine works great. Not just the Weaver engraver. The Weaver microscope. The casting setup. And not 100% sure, but I've even gotten the Weaver fastening machine to put out some nice cuts recently. I would not recommend that to people, personally. Like, if you're wanting to go pro, but if you're just wanting something to learn on a budget, you know, like, you're going to learn better on a machine that you have versus a machine you don't have. I've also, the cheap a 3D printer thing can work. I've done that recently, although having issues with that setup right now, unfortunately. I'll deal with that here soon. Alright, so we're at 74%. Why are you complaining? You have no need to be complaining to me right now, phone. And that's what I got from Elegoo. The cheap Mars Pro 3 or whatever works great and works for casting. I have a video, a short actually, that I recently put up showing the process. Although I might have hit a snag with the person whose setting me up or setting up the printer, unfortunately, but that's its own issue. Apologies. Okay. Right now I'm just getting my lines started. Hey, Jim. Alright, now that I've got pliers holding it in place better. There we go. Sorry guys, I'm under the microscope right now, so it can be a little difficult for me to see the screen and talk while I'm doing this. And I apologize for that, because I know that's not very exciting or fun. Damn, I don't see a way I can cut a third line into the back. Dude, I can totally use this. Hey, Will. I think I have our middle ground. We're gonna switch this stream, I think, back to the crafting, and I think I found a way to show off gemstones in vertical and be okay. And I prefer this stream being in vertical or horizontal as well, so. All right, so now I've got it carved up and it's just polishing from here. Have a good night, Lucid. Now, I want to make sure I don't F up my gemstones doing this part. And that means being very careful. It also does help that I am doing this under a microscope. Now, you might get nervous doing this process, and if you do, just know you should be nervous. Don't get all shaky and shit, but, you know, like, that nervousness is your body telling you, don't fuck these gemstones up. Listen to your body. Respect it. You know. Because when you're doing this, you have one job, and that's to not F up the gemstones. Well, technically, you have two jobs, because the other one's to set said gemstones, but at least if you don't F up the gemstones, you don't have to try to replace them. That would be cool. I want to go rock hounding so bad. Don't f up the gemstones. Wise words indeed. Plus, it just breaks my heart every time I break a gemstone, even if that gemstone isn't worth much at all. I'm trying to decide what kind of crazy deal I'm going to be offering on this piece. Or if perhaps we'll try auctioning it tomorrow. I don't know yet. But I am actually, like, putting thought into that. And yeah, I just go through these discs carefully and, you know, judiciously to make sure I get this looking as nice as I can. Hey Ken, it's Tanzanite. Damn! I'm sorry to hear that, Iris. That's, no fun. I'm going to switch to a pumice disc, which is a lot nicer, and the Tanzanite can kind of handle it. Yeah, I don't even want to know what it is outside my house. I'm not really looking. And real quick, I see if that's going to fit. It's not. Now, I can't polish the inside of the bale with what I have, but there is some residue left over, like fire scale. And I don't want that in there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ball burr and just like lightly scrape it all out real quick before I go to the final polishing burr. And then I'm going to go back to the blue disc because I just tapped my bale on accident with Good night, Josh. Thank you for hanging out. It was wonderful to see you, bro. I hope you're having a wonderful summer. Be safe out there. Last but not least, the polish. Oh wait, not last. Almost, but not quite. Now, the thing about buffing that's going to sound stupid is I need to wash this out, let it dry so I get all the particles from the silicon carbide out of here, then buff, then wash again. I am going to quickly just wash it, and you guys will kind of pretty much see the final project. It'll be a bit shinier in the end when I get done fully buffing it, but you know. What am I missing? Oh yeah, I've been switching my charger back and forth too, because I'm like, I don't want it to go. Okay, so step 1, make it so your drain does not have enough space for your piece of jewelry to fall down it. Because that's the last fucking thing you want, is for the piece you just spent all this time making to go down your drain. It'll be the one time your drain catch doesn't catch something. Because you want it to catch it. This is how these things work. And then I put it on a towel to let it start to dry for a moment. If you're wanting a quick dry, paper towels are usually the best, but always towel them first. I also want to clean my hands. I'm fucking starving. I don't know why. I actually ate lunch today. Or breakfast. Whatever. Call it what you want. Then, of course, dry your hands as well. Because, you know, how is your paper towel going to dry if it gets wet when you touch the paper towel? I always wrap it, push tight, and then, like, fling my hand to make physics help me. And for our final reveal of this little pendant, that is our pendant. want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who hung out today. I have a feeling my analytics are going to look freaking nuts when I flip off. So I am just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for all the people who hit that like button. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it. We did just go through last week. We did the stream of how to fabricate this, and this week how to set it. It's a lot of work. If anyone wants to buy this piece, it will be for sale tomorrow during our Gems and Jewels sale. Starts at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Roughly speaking, it should be starting on time tomorrow. That is the hope. But I appreciate ya. And we will catch y'all on the next time around. Actually turned out alright. Now I've just got to do them in different colors. Have a good night, everyone.